Hey, everybody, welcome back to another edition of the Grandma Ray podcast. I'm Tim, and I got Justin and Tim.
How's it going?
What's up, people?
Yeah, these guys. And in case you cared, are here too. And this week we're back, man. We're off true crime. We're going back to the bread and butter, baby. We're going back to cryptids.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, cryptids are always pretty fun to talk about, man.
I'm
Like,
so excited because it's not pudgy.
yeah, like serial
awkward.
killers is like we have like 4 weeks. It's like 4 weeks of just murder.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's time to get back to the fun stuff.
I mean, the story's gonna have some killing in it, but
yeah,
it may or may not be true. I mean, that other shit really happened, and it's really shitty. But
the cool thing about this is, man, is like, the thing with the cryptids, there's always two sides of the fence. Either you believe or you don't.
I think most people are on the one side. It's guys like us that start podcasts that are on a certain side of the fence, and then every normal person is on the other side of the fence. So they're like,
it's like, ridiculous.
It's like, no way this could happen. No way.
You looping people.
I mean, it's like I said, it's our first episode back from getting into all that true crime stuff, and like the creature we're going to get into today, man, was absolutely the most horrifying creature to sailors, seamen, whatever the fuck you want to call them, sea people, whatever. You know what I mean? Homeless people of the oceans. You know what I mean?
Like water gypsies.
Yeah. It's been around, man, for a long time. Hundreds and hundreds of, maybe even, I don't know, 1,000 years. Let's just say 1,000. Right? Because who knows, really?
Yeah. Never did find a when it's officially started kind of date point.
When people started going out on the oceans, because there's all kinds of weird shit in the ocean.
Yeah, especially back then. When you first start venturing out, you know what I mean?
Oh, well, everything's new.
Yeah.
It's scary as hell because that, people are just scared of everything in general. But especially you go out into the ocean, you're not a fish.
Yeah.
You're kind of out there stranded essentially until you get where you're going.
Yeah, it's like this vast emptiness.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like if you were in space.
Yeah.
Going 40 miles an hour. Yeah, trying to get somewhere.
Until you get where you're going.
It takes fucking forever. And so we're talking about the Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
This
guy.
Yeah. I like it, man. I like looking into it, to be honest with you.
Yeah. It's pretty neat. Because like a lot of folks know him from the classic movie Clash of the Titans.
Clash of the Titans.
Yes, that's probably where with the golden robot owl.
Yeah, man. That's a classic.
Yeah. Oh, what? I don't remember his name.
Owl.
Yeah, I don't remember his name. But I remember the movie. I saw. You know what? I'm not even gonna say because I almost dated myself.
Really?
You've done it several times already.
I've heard you should do that before you get into a relationship. Learn that you got to date yourself. Is that what
you gotta love yourself before you love somebody, right?
I was dating myself, and I broke.
Quite honestly,
with myself.
I creeped myself.
I decided to break it off.
I broke my own heart.
I was about to say, I saw this in the theater, man.
That is dating yourself.
Yeah, it is.
You should have said something like, "Oh, they were re-showing it many years later." And I saw
it when they put it back out in theaters.
Somewhere it was in the 2000s.
It was a re-release. Don't look that up though, but I'm pretty sure.
Not like I originally saw it in the theaters when it first came out. Like,
yo, you can say what you want, man, but at the time, bro, them graphics were mind blowing. To look at it now, you're like, did somebody do that? I'm like,
it's like an episode of Gumby.
It is, man. It's all stop motion.
Yeah, it's all
fucking terrible, dude.
But it was innovative at the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
And the Kraken was pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like
he doesn't really look like traditional way though in that movie. He was more of like a giant
monster,
like a giant sea monster with arms and a head, and he looked
like an Ursula looking thing.
Yeah, he was fucked up looking.
Yeah,
but he doesn't look like the real description of Kraken.
No. Yeah. Well, then, like a lot of people seem to think that he's actually a Greek monster.
That's probably because of the movie.
Yeah,
I would 100%.
I mean, before I really started learning about Vikings and Greece and all that.
Yeah,
I just assumed that was true.
Well, I mean, I think for the most of the people out there, like when they do those movies, nobody knows the origins of a fucking Kraken.
No.
Let's just
Plus,
be
I mean,
honest.
the damn Greeks have so many monsters.
Yeah, I'm sure they had something like this.
They did.
Oh, great.
Well,
It
see,
just
like,
wasn't called
for
the
them.
Kraken.
Yeah.
like the reason why I think like so many people probably believe that, and I'm gonna admit that I'm one of them, that I thought it was a Greek monster. You know what I mean? Is
Yeah.
because we've all heard of Zeus, and you know what I mean. So you just assume it's part of that pantheon
Right.
if it's in the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Well, it's only the gigantic fucking nerds. They're gonna be like, the Krakens get its origins in Swedish and Icelandic and Greenland mythologies. Like, fucking, who cares?
Yeah, it's like, dude, it's a
It's
fucking
like,
yeah, it's like
just
it's a
enjoy the
fucking
movie.
yeah, it's a cool movie, man.
Yeah, it's people who just can't sit there and actually enjoy it. They got to nitpick.
Why are you trying to tell me like the history of a fictional story? Like, I don't. Who cares? The whole thing is fake.
Yeah, it's just
You can make it up. That's why it's called fiction. The whole thing is made up, man. None of it's real. You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, like the origins go way further back than just that stupid movie, But if you've never heard of the Kraken, or you've never seen that movie, essentially, like understand like what the Kraken really is. So a lot of descriptions of the creature exist, different cultures are gonna change it a little bit, right? Like we talked about a million times. And so they're all describing this essentially the same thing, but originally it was described as like a giant crab like creature.
Yeah.
It had, like those weird like underwater spider legs that are fucking scary as fuck.
Dude, just imagine
like,
imagine something like that just under the water. Like you
coming
look
up
down.
and hooking onto your fucking ship, Yeah.
Yeah, that'd freak you out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna love this story, by the way. It's like tons of Vikings.
Yeah.
So your heritage is involved here.
Hey, no, maybe I need to do a 21 and me.
Well, what's good. What's good about like the modern climate in America. You can identify as a Viking if you like.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah,
I
true.
do. So does that mean I can go pillage and?
Well, sir, do you have
Well,
any?
see,
Do you have any
that's-
like Scandinavian blood in you at all? No.
It doesn't
in
change
my
anything.
heart, but in my heart,
I'm
Yeah.
a Viking.
yeah.
I'm Viking. Well, see, it's in my
I
it's
even
my
got an
it's in my
axe.
religion. Odin says
Yeah.
that I should pillage and plunder.
Where
Yeah,
did the
take
Vikings
what's
come
mine.
from? It was like Sweden and Norway and Greenland and Iceland, right?
Oh yeah.
So they
Yep.
all talk like this. Is that how they talk, like Swedish chef in battle?
Or like Squizguard.
That's how they all talk. I embezzle.
I embezzled the air with my lungs.
So like with the spindly appendages and stuff, dude. First of all, that's like you said, that is fucking
That's fucking
scary.
terrifying.
It's super super scary. But like the more modern descriptions of it, like the ones that we're used to, I think now, what I mean, like you've seen it in like the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right, 20,000.
It happened there too.
Didn't I get attacked by a giant squid or something?
I don't know. You probably saw it in theaters. You tell me. You tell me.
He was alive when the book came out.
Yeah.
Did you?
He was standing in line to get it.
Like, so like, yeah, it was like descriptions, given by like authors Jules Verne, for instance, in 1870. That they were described as like a giant squid or an octopus-like creature, which is also pretty fucking nuts.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh,
A regular squid's kind
God.
of terrifying.
Dude, just
Yeah,
like
imagine
seeing,
a giant one.
yeah, like if you ever go into like an aquarium and you're like checking out an octopus, first of all, they're highly intelligent.
Yeah.
They break out of their enclosures all the time too.
Because they're super smart and they're aliens.
Yeah, they are.
They have no idea like what classification. It's like the only DNA on Earth that doesn't match like every other.
Yeah,
DNA.
yeah, that's what I heard. Some scientists were trying to say that they're actual aliens.
Yeah, it's crazy, man, and I believe it, 110%. No supporting evidence whatsoever.
All you had to say was a couple scientists and aliens, and you son of a bitch, I'm on board.
Unless they're saying it's not real, I'm listening. As long as they're not saying it's not real. And so like it was a giant squid or octopus and had like huge tentacles, that would come up and wrap itself with, which is still, it's like bear hugging the fucking ship apart. Like you've seen in all the movies and stuff. and drag him to the depths of the fucking Davy Jones locker
Down to Davy Jones locker.
and kill everybody.
Well, yeah, you're pretty well
Yeah.
you're pretty well screwed, man.
Well, I mean, if it's doing
That
all that
ship's in
work,
the-
I would expect somebody to get eaten at the very least.
What if he was? Yeah, what if he was kind of like a dick though? Just like wrecked his ship and was like,
And
put his
just
tentacle-
left.
like give like a high five.
The
like
Kraken,
like a
the
sal-
dickhead of the sea.
like a
Yeah.
good like a goodbye salute with one of his tentacles.
Yeah.
See ya.
Bust the ship in half. Good luck, fellas.
Yeah. He's got his tentacle. Yeah. He gives you like the flip off motion. Hey, wow, I thought he was gonna eat us.
Yeah.
No, he's just,
Turns out
he's an asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's
turns
just
out
an asshole.
He's a fucking jerk. Yeah, that's all it is. So, like, the stories, man, would describe the Kraken as being so fucking big that, like, when it came out of the water, like, its head was like up to the mast of the ship. Where I think that's where the sails are, which
Yeah.
apparently is a unit of measurement for a sailor. Like you say, oh,
Oh,
it's
you
as
know-
high as the mast, and then they're like, oh yeah, it's.
Well, I'm sure back then a mast was
I know
probably
what that is.
a specific height
I guess
depending
it's
on ship
size-
size.
the size of the ship, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, like if I know my probably fake Viking history, is that all their first ships were really small, so it's not that big.
No. No, yeah, they weren't that
10
bad. I mean,
feet?
yeah, they weren't nothing
No,
like
I think those descriptions came out for more like the European.
when the European
sailors,
sailing
you know.
ships,
It's not the fucking Black Pearl.
like the
You know what
big
I mean?
ones.
That's not what they're sailing with in Norway.
No.
And shit, you know what I mean?
Well, no, but then again,
It's
over
not
the
the Flying
years,
Dutchman.
over the years, this thing, it went from being like a crab-like creature,
Mm.
and then it was this, and I mean, sailors talked about it.
Yeah.
But
But
I'm thinking it
think
was
about
more.
this too. Think about this. What are sailors? What are most of them doing out there? What are they? They're catching fish, right? They're fishermen.
Yeah,
And
basically.
what do fishermen do when they catch a fish?
Drink.
It was this big,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like their entire
you
wingspan.
catch a fish this
Yeah.
big. No,
Yeah,
no,
it
no,
was
no.
their whole wingspan. So
Yeah.
they're not trustworthy people.
And they drink a lot of rum.
So when they say, "Oh, like this fucking giant monster," it was, it was like you're run of the mill squid.
Yeah.
Can't trust.
Well, yeah,
them.
dude. I mean, I guess you can't
Sailor,
come
are
back.
you kidding me? Like
You can't come
trust a
back to
sailor.
port and go, well, how'd everything go out there in that scary ocean?
Yeah,
Well, there's little tiny things, strapped onto the boat.
yeah,
Nah,
yeah.
man, you
they're
got
full of shit.
yeah. This
Yeah,
thing
this
was
little this fucking wet noodle spider was trying to eat the fish I caught.
So, like, like we said, though, like a lot of the accounts of the Kraken come from Greenland, Iceland, Norway, Sweden, that whole fucking subarctic region up there.
like, why the hell do you live here, region?
Because they weren't clever enough to figure out that there's like other parts of the world that are
That are
better,
warm.
like way better. Like, well, that's the thing.
They
though,
didn't
like,
know
they sailed
the
to
Bahamas
places that
existed.
were better and still left.
Yeah.
They're like, no, no.
No.
Like having like purple.
mean, it's
nuts
nice and
because
warm
so
here, but-
fucking cold out, and I'm wearing a goddamn wolf
I
kilt.
want my nipples to tear through my leather armor right now.
So yeah. Anyways, they're from there, and they're all seafaring civilizations because they have to.
Yeah, they had no
Right?
choice.
They had no choice. And like the tales of sea monsters and shit like the Kraken were essentially part of their whole cultural experience over there. They had a lot of shit, giant wolves and fucking
I
everything.
mean,
was
the
giant.
world snake is what, you know what I mean, holds
Yeah.
the oceans in. So yeah, I mean, I guess it would just make
Bro.
perfect sense to have actual sea monsters.
I don't even believe that they have snakes up there. It's so fucking cold. They have polar bears and like Eskimos and shit like that. There's
like
no
seals and
snakes.
shit. Yeah.
There's no snakes. When's the last time you walked outside in the winter and saw a goddamn snake slithering around?
I haven't. Not that I
Exactly.
can, you know what I mean?
My point exactly. They're not there. Oh, that's one of those Antarctic snakes. Like you don't ever hear.
Yeah.
That. Like you don't hear.
Yeah,
about
That's
that.
that's the
think I've-
woolly snake.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
not
I've
a real
ever heard
thing.
that.
Because it's not real. I made it up right there. But like still though, like there's no way because it's so fucking cold and there's no food. They're not gonna be there. They can't take down deer.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that's the only thing up there is like elk.
Yeah, they just have to eat like fucking rodents. And
Right. Exactly. It's the same animals all the way across that cold ass shit. It's deer, it's mooses, and other winter creatures.
Mooses. I think it's moose.
Well, what's the plural of moose?
I
Moose.
think it's just moose.
Mooses.
Mises.
It's Mises. Packing Mises. Yeah.
You know, a little bit more like on the actual origins.
I guess you're right though, because like when I drive by, it's not the Moose's Lodge. It's the Moose Lodge.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay, very good.
Carry on.
Oh, can I? Thank you. The actual origins of the Kraken in like official terms.
Yeah.
The first mention of the actual term the Kraken that was put in the print
Right.
came from the 1735 book of the Systema Naturae.
So that sounds kind of like Latin or
Yeah, I was about to
Italian.
say.
Yeah,
or
it's
something.
more of an official book. Yes.
Well, it's not.
it was
We know
writ-
it's not Nordic because those fuckers weren't writing books.
With their chicken scratches and whatnot.
Well,
Yeah, they
they
were
don't
still-
have. There's no
they were
trees.
still- They were still carving in stone.
They were carving in fucking ice blocks. That's what they were doing.
But it was written by a zoologist.
They're just telling their whole stories via snowman. Like,
And then one warm day, look, our history's gone.
Yeah.
it's
Our
thousands
whole
of
written
years.
history.
Yeah,
Yep,
thousands of
gone.
years gone.
Fucking climate change.
Until they put the magic hat on them.
Yeah.
And they came
Come
back.
back. Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
kept wishing everybody a happy birthday.
But it was written by a zoologist by the name of Carl von Linn,
Mm.
also known as Linnaeus.
I guess that's a hipper way of saying your own name.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's
Okay.
all. He had an aeus to his last name.
Yeah. Makes you
But
sound
this guy,
smarter.
well, he was actually a well-respected scientist of his time,
Mm.
and he was actually like the father of like biological systematics.
So like how like biological creatures, I guess, were like put together.
Yeah, classifications.
Classifications. Okay, that's a
Yeah.
better way of saying it. Yeah.
Well, he actually classified the Kraken as an actual biological organism.
Like in contrast to it just being like a folktale.
Yeah, like
Kinda thing.
he classified it as a real creature.
Mm. Did he have like the Pegasus and shit in there too?
Probably.
I just feel like the beliefs of this time are insane. You know.
What's the tree? What? Cerberus? Three-headed dog?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Cerberus. Yeah,
Cerberus.
Well,
I mean,
back
but
then too, man,
I-
you didn't need proof.
What? Well, see, man,
No
that's
one was
what,
checking up on you.
that's
No,
the point I
there
was
was no
just gonna
fact
get.
checkers.
Yeah,
No.
that's the point I was just gonna make. Like, this dude's never seen a Kraken, but yet he's classifying it as a legit biological organism.
Yeah.
Oh, because this is the
So,
1700s.
dude, you're basically going by stories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Essentially. Yeah,
but
at
you're
this
calling it
point.
real.
I mean, yeah, I mean, they didn't have like the subs, you put in the ocean and
Well, I mean, dude,
film
like
shit.
think
I mean,
in ancient times, people actually thought the griffin was real. Not one person ever saw it.
Sure.
It
I
was
don't
a
know if they
legitimate
believed that
animal.
by 1735.
No, but I mean, in terms of like humans
Oh, they
have
might
believed
have.
that shit existed with no proof whatsoever forever.
Bigfoot.
Yeah,
Fuck
we all
you.
know he's fake.
Mm,
Aliens,
yeah,
ain't no damn such thing.
Goddamn chupacabra.
he's bigger than Justin.
Hey, no, he's
Love
real.
for his family.
All right, no, he's real.
That's how fake
Bigfoot's
he
fake,
is.
but yes, the chupacabra is real.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a fucking asshole.
But the word Kraken actually comes from both Sweden and Norway, where the origin of the creature were located at. Right, so it
was his
he did-
original? Well, I know the original name. It was more like Irish. It was McCracken, and his first name was Phil. Was his first name Phil?
Phil McCracken.
Phil McCracken.
Well, it's actually an old Norse word, cracky.
It's another hilarious name. It's like a medieval, like fucking, like just like strung out
Yeah, it's the medieval version of the crackhead.
of a crackhead.
Yeah. You see this
Oh,
squid
don't
like,
go near
yo,
him. He's a cracky.
He's a cracky.
yeah,
He
he's
sounds anti-Semitic.
What a cracky.
Well, the word actually means deranged or twisted animal.
Okay. So like
So-
like out of the norm.
Yeah.
Okay, so like so what this is kind of telling me essentially is that like it didn't necessarily mean
sea monster.
that sea monster thing. It's just like any animal that was strange or twisted apparently was
Yeah, like
kraken.
some
A
sort of
kraken.
abnormal
or cracky.
animal.
Yeah, cracky.
Yeah.
Mm.
But in Viking legends, the Kraken had eyes the size of dinner plates, which honestly I don't think are that big for the actual like the alleged size of this thing.
No, it's like beady eyes.
Yeah.
If you're like the size of like a fucking ship,
Yeah, if
and
you're a
you got, like,
3-story
dinner
tall
plate,
creature,
it's not that big.
No, it ain't.
It's not that
Now,
big.
yeah, I mean, you would think a creature at that size,
Yeah.
especially coming from the depths, would have like just humongous.
Like I can imagine. Like, does it look like he's got like Down syndrome or something? Like I mean, I'm not trying to be mean, but is that what it is?
he's nearsighted as a motherfucker.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
But also, like we said before, large tentacles to grab ships and sailors alike.
Right.
So it's pretty close. And so there was an intense like belief in the Kraken amongst the Norse people.
Right.
And that was like an image, and that like an image of the Kraken was even included on their maps as like a constant reminder of dangers. And that was actually even past the Norse.
I've
A lot
seen
of other
that.
people had
Yeah.
the Kraken. I think it was like at the bottom left or in
Yeah,
the middle of the
I
ocean.
want to say that,
Yeah.
yeah, man,
Yeah,
with
like-
the bottom left thing, because I mean, like you see maps of like, 15, 16, 1700s, and there's sea monsters legit not drawn on the map.
Yeah, like there's sea serpents and stuff like
Yeah.
that in them.
Well, those were the stories of the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of sailors, where that's the kind of shit that was out there.
I mean, you got to think about it, man. Like, especially when we really started doing like the intense sailing, you know what I mean, around them ages.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, say the first time you see a blue whale, or
Yeah. You don't know what
a
it
kill-
is.
like you've never had no reference to what it is to this
Right.
point.
So everything's
You know,
new.
Yeah, and so all of a sudden, this humpback, which are biggest ships.
I mean,
Well,
what are
bigger
they-
than the Viking ships would have been.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
now all of a sudden,
Yeah,
this
you have
thing
a-
is a sea monster.
Yeah, I mean, you have a blue whale come up next within eyesight.
Yeah, it's gonna look
Yeah,
like a
and that
giant
thing's-
island or something like
Yeah.
coming
Yeah.
with that. Yeah. Because I like think about I mean, before they started going like deep into the oceans and shit, it was only fish. So why would
Yeah.
they think that anything else other than fucking fish were in the ocean?
Yeah, exactly.
So anytime you saw something new, you're like, what the? You know what I mean?
Especially
And-
something like at that size.
right.
And back
Now-
then,
now
dude,
you're
it
like,
would've
that
been like
thing's
the
a-
god. That's
that thing's
a
a legit
creature of the
monster.
gods.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, the threat of the Kraken was like a part of their superstition,
Right.
and it was commonplace for sailors. Like they didn't even utter the word Kraken because they
Right.
actually believed that saying the name of it would essentially summon it to your location and attack you.
Well, that's also what they called sagging your pants back then. It's called cracking.
Don't say the word.
I'm really reaching. I'm
Just a
trying,
little bit.
goddamn it. I'm trying, goddamn it.
He's gonna try to get in as many cracking jokes.
Well, how many
Yeah.
other like what? How many more
He's
chances
had a whole
am I
week
gonna
to
get?
work on them.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
How many more chances am I gonna get? You know, how many more times will we talk about the Kraken after this?
Probably
Zero.
never.
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
never
I'll,
again.
I'll
ever,
probably
ever.
never
Yeah.
utter this.
So I'm getting them
creature's
in
name
while the
again.
getting's good.
For sure. I mean,
I'll never live with
know,
regrets.
I'm-
you know?
I'm glad to
Yeah,
find out that I was, that it ain't a Greek story. I was surprised to find that part out. So I'm
Well,
glad
like I said,
did find
I do
out.
think probably it made its way there
Yeah.
after a while.
Well, like the Greek version of the Kraken would be Scylla from the Odyssey.
Okay.
It was it was the monster. It was like an octopus-like monster in the sea.
So basically the same
That-
thing.
Yeah. The story behind that is like you had to sacrifice 8 sailors to get through her area.
Who the fuck picks the 8 sailors, man? God damn.
It's all the
bro.
ones with scurvy.
Yeah. It's like, yo,
No,
you
that's
looking,
like it
you,
was
you
either
looking a little yellow in the gills, man. A
well
little thin.
in Greece mythology, like Greek mythology, it was either sacrifice 8 sailors, which I'm sure was against their will, and
Yeah.
Scylla would let you pass, or you could try for Charybdis, who would just destroy the entire ship and kill everybody. Because Charybdis would suck in the ocean and then spit it out boiling hot several times a day.
So you just go around them.
Oh, you couldn't if you're going, if you're going whatever.
Just saying, it's a big ocean.
Yeah, you
go-
can't
you can go
kind
around
of just skirt to the right a little bit.
No, because Charybdis, like I said, was supposedly sucking in the entire ocean.
The whole thing.
That's
All 700 billion trillion killion tons of water.
Yeah.
Very good.
Hey, that's the stories, man.
Hey, man.
They never went around nothing. They went through shit. All right. It
Yeah,
didn't make a good
clearly.
heroic story.
And
If
clearly,
you were just like, oh, there's the Minotaur. Let me kind of just walk off to the left here. You don't
I'm
have a
just saying,
story.
hopefully
they're
Listen.
not quiet. They're not quiet. They're not small.
Yeah.
Or if you ever seen like any depiction of a minotaur, they always got like a giant fucking axe and they're just hitting shit all the time. It seems like you could know that they're there. I've never seen like a story where somebody was like stealth attacked by a fucking minotaur. You know what I mean?
You're just sneaking up behind him
No,
like
yeah, he like
cartoonish.
acts like a bull.
Yeah. Like that's never happened.
Yeah, but then again,
It just seems like if there's like a giant like steaming hot pool of fucking water shooting into the air, you're like, well, Probably
that's why
not
they went
good.
towards Scylla.
So they'd rather just sacrifice the 8 instead
Yeah.
of taking the chance.
Well, because
Now-
it was either because even Scylla, if you didn't give her 8, she'd destroy your ship.
So,
So
either
the
way,
only way to
8
get through
was
this
gone,
part of the ocean
was to give
was
up
to
8.
sacrifice 8 or sacrifice all.
I wonder why it was 8. Like a specific number.
I think it was 1 for every tentacle.
Ah, that makes sense.
It just goes to show you,
Now,
even like female creatures, nothing's ever good enough. You know? Nothing's ever good enough.
One's not good enough.
What
You
about
give
the
me
rest
half
of the
your crew.
tentacles?
gotta have 8.
Mm.
Now, what do you think happened to these? Like, now with these dudes not being able to say the word, like, just say some dudes like, "Yo, they will see a Kraken." I mean, you think the whole ship just went like berserk?
What if the
Probably
guy
threw
was
him off
like,
the ship.
hey
Well,
man,
here's one.
See ya.
Well,
Pushed
I
him
mean,
right
think
off
about
the
it. Like you're
fucking-
like roaming all day, and you get up and you're like, "Hey man, you mind cracking my back?" God damn it!
You just do this all to die, man.
You idiot!
But that's the same thing of like,
We're
man, it's
calling it
been
a
kind of
cracky.
slow today at work. Then all of a sudden, the phones start going off, trucks start showing up out of nowhere.
Yeah. The new guy
Just
walks
don't
up. All
tempt
right,
fate."
fellas, let's get cracking.
God damn it.
You idiot! You've doomed us all.
You do this all to die.
I'm new.
I didn't know.
I'm just a temp. Yeah.
They didn't give me the proper training. Sorry. But perhaps like unluckily for the sailors of this time and in this part of the world, the Kraken was thought to inhabit the waters just off of Norway.
Mm.
So the actual like threat of being attacked by this thing was very real in the Norse's minds.
Right. Well, at least it's just them. It's not everywhere. It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
At
true.
least some people are getting out alive without having to sacrifice half their crew or.
Well, dude, I mean, you gotta think, like, for a culture that lived by the sea and ships, like, why would you come up with the most terrifying thing you could think of?
Yeah, so like
sink
that
ship.
scares people from going
Yeah,
to do the
that's-
thing you need them to do.
Yeah, that's literally right off your shores.
Well, they do it for everything. Like you're like, don't go in the woods.
Yeah.
There's trolls and fucking, what I mean, like
Yeah.
giant 70.
Those cautionary tales. Be careful where you're going, or else.
Yeah, like the
Dude,
woods,
actually,
where all the
surprisingly
food
enough-
is, or the ocean, where all the food is.
Yeah.
Make up stories for horrifying creatures.
Yeah.
The two things you need to survive.
Well, the the actual story of the Kraken is more like the creature itself was more what's the word I'm looking for? Inspired by the Norse Hufgafa. Hagufa, sorry.
Oh yeah, where they thought it
Which
was
is like a whale
islands.
creature.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it looked like islands. It was so big.
Which is kind of where some historians are thinking that that's kind of where the Kraken story came from.
Yeah, well, they didn't want to make it seem too unbelievable.
Yeah, yeah. No one's going to believe a whale the size of an island. They'll much
But they will believe a half-mile wide octopus creature.
though.
yeah.
I guess you got to know your target audience.
I love it.
Exactly. Dude, you got to read the room.
Yeah, it did well in focus groups.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Is this room more of a Goofa crowd or a Kraken crowd? Yeah, I got
Don't say it.
God damn it.
Well, this one terrified the kids. Did that one terrify the kids? Yeah, but not as much as that one did.
Yeah, but this
no,
one scared grown men.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to keep this one in rotation.
But stories of the Kraken throughout time have all been very, I don't know, they're all kind of eerily similar. Which, when the ships would be attacked, they would all describe the same events for the most part.
Which does everybody having the same story make it more true or less true, you think?
I would say more true.
You think?
Well, I mean, you
it's
got to understand
consistent?
too, bro. Back
Yeah,
then,
because you don't have a lot of variances.
Well, I mean, think about the last episode we just did. They had 6 descriptions of one guy, and then they got their man.
yeah. I mean, but you got to
Yeah,
think back
man,
then,
not men.
telling stories was like playing the telephone game almost.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it got, with every telling to the next guy, to the next port, to the next port.
Yeah, I mean that's
You know what
pretty
I mean?
much
All of
like
a sudden
every
it's-
time we
it's
bring up,
bigger, it's meaner.
Mm-hmm.
like every
Okay.
time we bring up cryptid, a lot of times, especially like the older ones,
Yeah.
from like ancient time, that's what it is a telephone game.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, record keeping wasn't
A thing
they
back
didn't have like
you know.
iPhones, you know what I mean, where they can just video it. You know what I mean? They it was word of mouth or it was written in a fucking tablet.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know what I mean? Or
You had to wait for it to dry, and then
right.
God forbid you made a spelling error,
Or
you
a
got to
crack
start
or
all over
something.
again. You forgot the fucking what happened.
Yeah.
Mm.
I mean, dude, this thing, but just imagine seeing it, because this is how they're describing it. You know what I'm saying? The giant sea monster would ascend rapidly from the depths
Mhm.
of the water and wraps its absolutely massive tentacles around the ship, where the Kraken would then attempt to drag the ship into the waters so it could more easily devour the sailors.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's
So imagine looking over the thing and all of a sudden you just see this thing come.
well, I mean, I
Up
think
from the
sharks
bottom.
probably attack people better in the water than they do on boats.
For sure.
You
No,
know,
yeah, the real problem is those damn land sharks.
yeah, they got feet and shit.
Yeah,
They
sneak
can
up
chase
on you.
down.
Come right out of the water.
Yes. Zigzag,
They can chase you
zigzag,
down, yeah.
serpentine.
Top mile, 30 miles an hour. You gotta be careful, man.
Land sharks. That sounds like a fucking like animated show from like 1992 on Fox.
No,
Like
it
Fox
sounds like a
Kids.
damn sci-fi movie.
I was about to say that, man.
Oh, land sharks.
Which are like Sharkantula.
Yeah, yeah, the actual like Sharknado. You know what I mean?
All right, this is also why most depictions of the Kraken are shown to be attacking boats at sea. And, there was also telltale signs of the Kraken's imminent arrival.
I mean, what other like kind of like images would they do though? Like the Kraken.
I mean, like one of your French girls.
like
Yeah.
Netflix and chilling. Like
Yeah.
what other
like hanging out on a fucking iceberg, like all chilling and shit. Like, hey, what's up,
like
dude?
it'd be like one of those like Public Enemy, like where he's like on his knee. He's like starting with all his tentacles. He's got like Adidas jumpsuit on all 8.
His beak is like
a clock necklace.
iced. Yeah, he has an iced out beak.
Yeah,
wearing like a Kango.
he's dressed like Vanilla Ice. Like, what else could it be?
Yeah. He's like, look,
It's like a mean creature that kills people and
Yeah.
destroys boats. Like,
Yeah, it's a monster.
that's what it does. You know what I mean?
But supposedly, man, when these things show up, the waters that like surround the ships would begin to churn.
You're right.
Like rough seas, and and
Yeah.
then whirlpools would start to form.
Which is super scary too, man.
Dude, yeah,
in the middle of
that's
the ocean, you're
Yeah.
caught in like a whirlpool, dude. You're like, holy fuck.
Like, just imagine like you're on the ship, and all of a sudden, a fucking whirlpool shows up out of nowhere.
Yeah. I think that can happen.
probably.
I mean,
I know there's certain
I'm
areas
not an
of the
ocean
ocean.
scientist, but I think there are like just whirlpools that show up randomly. Isn't
Well,
it?
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but wasn't that always some of the stuff that was mentioned? Like I mean, even in more modern times with the Bermuda Triangle.
a lot of that is like
Yeah.
rogue wave stuff, or that there's like large deposits of like methane in
Yeah.
that area, and like when the methane comes up and hits the surface, it makes the surface less buoyant.
Yep.
Yeah, and the
and
ship just
it sinks the fucking ship like instantly because the
Damn.
ship no longer is buoyant, and it's just
Yeah,
fucking
now
straight into the water.
nowadays it's actual 70 tons.
it's not like
Yeah.
the fucking Titanic sinking where it took like 10 hours. You know what I mean? This is
Yeah.
like you're just like plummeting
yeah,
like immediately.
falling through the air pretty
Yeah.
much.
And by that point, you're, a
Mhm.
mile down.
Well,
ain't no
I mean,
coming back
even when
from
that
that.
happens,
Yeah.
you can't swim in that kind of water, so
Yeah.
it doesn't matter. You're
Well,
dead.
you could in the Bahamas, but not in. Yeah, if you're in the Bermuda Triangle, it is called the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah.
So it's like it's like a resort mystery location on Earth.
Yeah, resort mystery spot.
Yeah, it's where like monsters go for vacation.
It's
But
like you might come back, you might
but you're
not.
right though, in like Sweden and Norway and all those places. I mean, it's Arctic water, man. Like it's insta death. You know what I mean? Because your
Yeah,
body
yeah, for
immediately
sure.
probably goes into
Yeah.
hypothermic shock, and
Yep.
you fucking drown.
And not just that, man. You got to think too. Not only are
You
in the
have
water,
armor
but
on and everything too.
that's what I'm
Mhm.
saying. You got all them furs, and once they get soaked,
Oh, they probably weigh a ton.
yeah, you're done, man.
Yeah.
They're in- you know what
So
I
you're
mean?
either drowning or getting eaten by an octopus creature.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And if not, then you're just gonna float on debris until you freeze to death. Either way,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
a
either
done
way,
deal,
yeah,
man.
you're going out pretty rough.
But
But
where
then
that scene from Titanic came from. That's a little known fact.
All I'm
It wa-
saying is,
It wasn't an iceberg. It
in that
wasn't a
movie, it
Kraken.
looked like
Kraken.
there was more than enough room to fit both of them. She
That's
was
why
just being-
nobody
greedy.
talks about that. That it was the
Because-
Kraken.
yeah, the government silenced it.
It's in the right area.
Yeah,
The boat broke
that's
in
what it
half.
is.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes is the answer.
Yeah.
That's
No, yeah,
another
I
thing the
agree.
government covered up, just like Roswell.
It was a rhetorical question formed in the like in the form of an actual question. But that's what happened. The Kraken's name was Iceberg.
Oh, iceberg.
He was a fucking WCW wrestler.
Release the iceberg.
Or like a fucking like American Gladiator or something.
Ah!
It just shows up in a unitard. Yeah.
He's like,
It was
I'm from
Iceberg.
parts unknown.
Yeah. It was like Iceberg and like Gemini and Laser and Phaser.
Taser and all kinds of asers.
That's what sunk the Titanic.
Yeah.
What the
What-
fuck are we talking about?
Oh, we're talking about the Kraken.
Oh yeah. I
Well-
forgot like what we were talking about. for some-
Apparently, another sign of the Kraken is coming was that all the fish in the area would come to the surface in fear of being eaten by the creature.
Yeah, because they're like, fuck no.
Yeah, they're like, fuck this, I'm out. Like, look how big that thing is, man. It's mean looking as hell.
Mm.
But then it was also said that the Kraken would turn the water surrounding the ship black.
Okay.
And this makes perfect sense. Especially with a giant squid, man. You like if it's
Yeah, like
considered
the-
like a giant squid octopi, you know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
they shoot ink and shit like that. But I thought that was only in defense, but maybe it's when they attack too.
Yeah, it might be. Maybe to disorient it, you know what I mean? They're
Oh,
prey.
for sure. Like once it falls in the water, they can't see any fucking thing.
Yeah. So it's like, so I guess maybe they're looking at the bottom of the boat, maybe like it's some kind of prey, so they shoot their ink.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and and if these things are as big as supposedly what they're saying they are,
Right.
I could easily see that
Yeah.
around the ship.
You know what it
turning
is,
black.
dude? It was an older Kraken. It was incontinent.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It
So
couldn't
he-
hold its
so-
ink sac.
So he's just going all over the ocean, just
Yeah.
shitting himself.
Yeah.
Any level of excitement, just inks everywhere.
premature inculation.
I'm sorry, that doesn't usually happen.
If he's slightly startled.
This don't happen that often.
Yeah,
It just
I
happens-
promise you.
Don't just happen to all Krakens every once in a while.
Well, he gets a little drip when he sneezes or
Yeah.
if he coughs too hard.
But I mean, basically, man, the ink, I mean, I think that's, if it was in fact a giant octopus or like we said,
Right.
some kind of squid-like animal. However, though, it is also believed that stated in the King's Mirror,
Mm.
a sort of medieval encyclopedia,
It
that the
seems
Kraken
almost,
did not set out to destroy ships.
it almost
Now-
seems like what is the word I'm looking for when something doesn't really make any sense like that? Like a medieval encyclopedia?
Yeah. Like an
Nah,
oxymoron.
yeah, about to say oxymoron.
Yeah, didn't they believe in like nothing but like the King James
Superstition.
version of the fucking Bible? Like, wasn't that it? That was it.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they believe in like unicorns and like dragons and shit.
Like was it like legend? What are you talking about? Like fucking Tim Curry was there. Like,
Yeah, I mean, dude, you got to think about a book called The King's Mirror. I'm gonna go ahead and say that thing's probably slapped full of whatever the king believes.
right. Yeah,
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much.
Oh,
for,
I mean,
for sure, dude.
like-
For sure.
He's the ultimate authority of all
Yeah,
things.
it's called The King's Mirror. So I mean,
Okay, very good.
but I mean, but like they're saying that it really didn't set out to destroy ships, man. That it was just basically in like you're sailing through its natural hunting habitats.
Right.
And of regurgitating its food to attract fish, and then snap its jaws shut with enough, when there was enough for him to feast, to feed on.
Right. So
So-
he's innocent essentially.
Yeah, basically, man.
Yeah, it's they're doing what we do best. It's just get in the way of nature,
Exactly.
and then hunting and killing it to extinction.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we got in its way, but yeah,
Yeah.
well, now it's time.
We're gonna be mad at it.
now we're gonna hunt it to extinction.
Right.
But basically, man, unfortunately for the sailors, though, bro, like when all this shit went down, the omens of the Kraken's arrival would not give them enough time to escape.
No.
So it's kind of like
No, because it was
you know,
quick.
Really not.
It was
Yeah.
like instant, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I
But-
imagine
but,
it was
like,
Just
pretty
think about
quick.
like regular squid or octopus. Like they're kind of stealth hunters. They're not.
I was
They're
just
not
gonna say
active
that, man.
hunting.
Yeah. So I was gonna
So-
say, of course, it's gonna be quick because it's like a blitz attack.
Yeah, like you start seeing these things happen, it's too late. That thing's already coming at you. Mach
Like a
5.
surprise attack or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Oh yeah,
blitz
because
attack.
don't they like nestle themselves like into the dirt
Like
or
rocks
whatever?
and sand and
well-
all that.
Is it sand at the bottom of the ocean? Is that
Yes.
Yeah.
you
Sand,
don't know?
Sand, rock.
You don't know that for
coral.
sure.
But they do
Coral?
hide. Yeah, I mean,
Coral?
yeah, I mean, they're like ambush hunters, right?
Yeah.
Octopi.
I guess if you're the size of a fucking boat, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I did read a fact, man, that said, I'm sure you guys have seen
Is it a
where-
fact?
Where
Is it a fact?
it is a fact
Okay.
where an octopus would just punch a fish for no reason.
Because they're assholes.
Dude, that's a scientific fact that
They
an
just slap
octopus
a
just
fish.
to be a dick will punch a fish for no reason, like not even eat it or not, just punch, just being an asshole.
That's because squids are and octopuses are what, half Italian? Punch you for no reason. Hey.
It backs up the whole dickhead of the sea theory. you know?
That's what I'm saying, man. That kind of like,
You
know what I mean? It's like, yep, octopus are assholes.
That is a fun fact.
It is.
There you go. I've never heard that before in my life.
Dude,
In
I
my
swear
life.
it is.
Dude, I'm gonna have to look up like an octopus punching.
There's
a
got to
fish.
be a video of it
Oh, for sure.
somewhere. If
Absolutely,
not,
there
we'll
has
make
to
it.
Yeah.
It'll go viral.
They're like, dude, I got to. My life is so miserable.
It'll
He's
be the
like, "Look
most
at me."
successful thing we do.
Yeah. That's
By
the
far.
only thing we'll be known for.
Yeah.
But you know those guys have a podcast too, right? Who?
Who gives a
Oh.
shit?
The dudes who recorded the octopus punching the fish for no reason.
Yeah.
He's just chilling. He just pops him in the mouth.
So
Like,
funny.
moving on, buddy.
Yeah.
It's so funny. Is he in like a wife beater too? Like
Yeah.
the fuck?
He's got like a rusted out weight set outside his cave.
Yeah.
The fish is just asking for directions.
He's rocking like a mullet.
Oh my god, dude! Yeah, there's like an upholstered couch. It's been out in all the elements for years. And they still sit on it.
But you know, perhaps like probably the most amazing part of the story, like of the Kraken story,
Right.
is that unlike a lot of the other cryptids we've covered, you know, in our previous episodes, this creature may actually have its existence like related to actual life forms
So
that we found in
okay.
the sea.
Okay.
So like it's
Well,
not
we know
like
squids and octopuses are real.
yeah.
And we know that, and now we know that the giant squid is real.
Yeah, which is actually part of the theory here, was that because in 1802, a French scientist, Pierre Denis de Montfort, whatever, stated
Montfort.
in his Montfort.
Yeah, that's how they say
I'm
it.
sure, you know, French. I think the T's are silent, but anyways.
Then why
stated-
have it? Then why
Right?
have it?
Why
does
do we
it
have a
exist?
K in knife?
Yes,
Ain't no damn point in having.
it makes no sense.
No, I don't.
Somebody
yeah.
explained it to me. Why are they there if you don't save them?
Let me go get my wife. She's a grammar Nazi. Let me ask her.
Your wife's an idiot.
But
I'm gonna edit that part out. Don't worry. On the one chance that she actually listens to the show that her husband's on.
she doesn't trust me.
She doesn't. Yeah, so we're good. All right, we'll be safe.
But he actually stated in his book on the natural history of mollusks
What the?
that the creature.
It's the nerdiest book to write, by the way.
Yeah, you're a pretty boring person if you're writing.
About clams and
Yeah,
oysters.
It's like writing a book on rocks. Like,
Yeah.
like who gives a shit? Nobody cares but other geologists. You know, like nobody else is gonna read this book.
yeah. I don't care if that rock is granite or.
Dude, I've never walked
You know.
into like Barnes and Noble's like, where's your rock section? Like, oh, you mean like AC/DC and Rolling? No, I mean like homogeneous
rocks.
Like actual rocks.
Yeah. Volcanic
Like you could
rocks.
pick that up off the ground and throw it at somebody rock.
Yeah, a rock.
That's what I'm looking for.
Like the thing that kid got in Charlie Brown for Halloween.
I got a rock.
Rock.
A rock.
Well, dude, I mean, like that's even.
Oh yeah. Oh, our books
I had
on
to do-
Dwayne Johnson are up there.
Yeah. No, you don't understand.
Mm.
A rock, good sir. That's what I'm looking
Not
for.
the rock.
No.
A rock.
Well, dude, that's like even I had some work done in my front yard.
Like
This
small
dude
mountains.
brings it in.
Yeah.
He brings in dirt, and he goes,
They're tiny
"Oh
bugs.
no, man, this dirt's really good. This is really good dirt. It's from what?" I was like, "I don't care what kind of dirt it is." Yeah,
It's from the dirt farms of Iowa.
yeah. I was like, "What do I care what kind of dirt it is?" Same thing with the rocks. No,
Yeah,
gives
it's
a
like,
fuck
is
about
it,
that
is it
stuff,
gonna
man.
do what I needed to do?
Like, who
Good.
cares?
Is it gonna fill in that hole in my yard? Yeah, then shut up and put it in.
Like,
Yeah.
well, where you know where this dirt came from? The earth.
Yeah,
Like, that's
and
where
this
it
is
came
high
from, buddy.
quality dirt. You know,
What are you
smell
talking
it.
about? Where do you think it came from? Fucking space? Like, I mean, it came from the.
I mean, if it was
ground.
space dirt, okay, you know.
That's all. That's it's expensive dirt.
Yeah.
But you know, the creature that Norwegians and the Swedish sailors
Mm.
were describing, he called it the Kraken octopus.
Hmm.
And and he actually went as far as to say that there may be even larger versions of this octopus known
Right.
as the colossal octopus.
Well, at least it's not like some name you can't pronounce. You know, scientists love
Yeah.
to give shit names you can't.
I'm
It's like
sure it has a
medications.
scientific name
Oh yeah, for sure.
that
it
you
does.
can't, you need a degree just to be able to read it.
Why?
Now,
Again, I don't understand. Just
now
call it
does it-
something simple.
Yeah.
Like,
For
why
the
is it-
layman.
Is
Like,
it
I'm sure,
blue?
like,
Call it the blue, whatever, you know.
I'm sure like a tree has some incomprehensible name.
They do.
Yeah, they all have a genus name or genus
Mhm.
name.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything does.
Mm.
Now, does the colossal octopus, what's he do? Like punch whales?
Why? Yeah, he,
100%,
punches
dude.
Well, if
You
he
know what I
punches a
mean?
fish, it like knocked its spine completely out, like it was a fatality, like in Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
You know, that was like, yo, dude, I was just chilling, man.
They punch me in the face.
Comes up on like a beluga.
It's like,
Just
boom,
fucking.
I tell you
shut
what,
up.
try that shit on an orca, see what happens to you. It's the pandas of the ocean. Those motherfuckers is mean.
Yeah, they are. They
eat-
eat seals and shit.
They eat sharks, I think.
Yeah,
They
they're
do.
whales.
They fuck up, dude. They fuck up great whites on a regular.
Yeah.
Dude, actually, fun fact about that: if a great white runs into, if it sees orcas, like let's say it's on the coast of Mexico or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it runs into orcas, it'll actually abandon that part of the ocean for years.
Really?
Yeah, like
Wow.
like orcas actually traumatize great whites.
I'm
They
so
don't fuck
happy
around
we're
with it.
doing a Shark Week episode this week.
Yeah, I thought, yeah,
Fun
interesting.
fact.
I'm
But
so
you know, the
happy.
colossal octopus, puss. Yeah, it's actually been known to attack vessels at sea.
You're a colossal puss. This is a colossal octopus. Forgot the octo.
Yeah. But it actually has been known to do that. However, due to the nature of storytelling, the creature's size was likely exaggerated to equal, the monster that we know of today.
Right. It was. I think
Yeah.
that is fair to say.
That it
Again,
was exaggerated.
you can't trust a fucking sailor or a fisherman.
Or a fisherman.
Period.
Know how big
No.
a fish is.
No, you can't, dude.
I mean, because the depiction of them today are like, they can take down like humongous sailing ships. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From like the back in the day.
They get into fights with Johnny Depp and
He jumps into their mouth sword first. Yeah.
like sword fights. Yeah, like sword fights a fucking
Sword fights a Kraken.
yes. Okay. All right.
That's hilarious.
But there's also a theory, kind of very similar to the one I just described, that the Kraken is actually a colossal squid.
Which are real.
yeah, those are real.
And-
They found those.
Yeah, they've been discovered. They're real living thing. I think the
Right.
biggest one they found so far was like 40 foot long.
Yeah.
And
Now, is that body or is that body and tentacles?
that's everything.
That's like total length.
total length.
Like tip to tip, I guess.
Yeah. And there's actually
Hell
some
no,
people
bro.
who
40
are
feet,
thinking
man.
They're big.
that's not even the biggest they come. Like,
You gotta think
there was
40
some
feet is
sign-
basically 4 stories. That's how long it
Mhm.
is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's big,
like-
bro.
Yeah. Well, there was actually a couple scientists who were thinking that might have been like an adolescent,
Really?
like a teenager kind of one, like
At
not
40
even
feet.
Yeah.
That's why it's getting into trouble and attacking ships and stuff.
Yeah, it was exactly.
It's like
It was in his vandal. Yeah.
He's like lashing out against the
Yeah.
ocean that rejected him.
Attacking,
I
leaving
will
the
not
cuts.
stay at the bottom.
Yeah, leaving the cuts on the ship and whatnot and dents is like it's like sea graffiti,
Yeah. He like snuck out at night.
Son, what did I tell you about sinking ships for no reason?
I learned it from watching you.
Ah, I had to feed the family.
But the squid is actually it's known to be a very aggressive creature.
Yeah, octopuses are
And
chill.
It's
they ain't.
actually pretty much.
They can play chess.
Really?
Yeah.
That
They know
sounds
how to
fake.
Can they just move the pieces, or do they know actually how to play chess? Can you
No,
teach an octopus how to play chess?
They say like king to knight 5, and it's pretty cool.
I'm calling bullshit on that one, I think.
Anyways,
I'm looking it up on Google right now. Like,
you made that shit up. But the
I,
squid is
I
actually
did, I did make that up, but because it feels like it could be real.
Hey, while you're doing that, the colossal squid's actually been known to come close to the surface and to hunt. And it's actually there's more likelihood of it being spotted by sailors.
Yeah, I get that.
Mm.
So the giant and colossal squids, like, they're nowhere near the described 1.5 mile long, just monster from the stories.
Dude, a
But they
mile
are
is like
actually
what, like 5,600 feet or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
So this thing's like set. I mean, to say that it's like 7,500 foot long is
it's
just,
over 100 times as big as
It's
like,
ridiculous.
the biggest one we've caught.
Yeah, exactly.
But they are actually large enough to attack whales, and they could easily like interrupt a ship at sea. Enter no,
Like
not
basically
interrupt,
like mistake a
interpret.
ship.
Yeah, they could mistake a ship for a whale and attack it.
Yeah, I could see that. I mean, like I'm sure.
Well, from the bottom, I'm sure it
Yeah.
looks.
Well, going back to our Shark Week thing, it's kind of the same thing. Sharks attack people because they think they're seals.
Yeah. And 9 out of 10 times after they bite him and realize they ain't, they bounce.
They leave them. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I could easily see, especially if it's coming up with any velocity. Is he showing us a shark? He's showing us an octopus playing chess.
Yep.
So I guess there is.
You only
There's
get
a
to see it
video.
once. You only get to see that picture one time. Because I don't want you to pick it apart.
That's
It does not need scrutinizing.
It may or may not have been a sculpture.
a silver sculpture next to a brick wall by chance.
Well, they got brick walls underwater.
Yes, there's the merfolk are
the
well
ocean's
known for
full
their
of
masonry.
mysteries. It's
skills.
full of mysteries.
It is. They say we know more about space than the ocean.
Yeah, it's something like only 90. Like, there's still like 98% not explored.
No, we don't want to look at it. We just want to pollute it.
Yeah, it's easier that way.
We'll just, then we'll go to space, and then it won't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we'll pollute space.
Then we'll find.
Oh, there's a lot more space than there is ocean, isn't there?
Yeah.
See, problem
We'll
solved.
find a new
Pull
planet and start
Futurama and
over.
just send a rocket to the sun. Yeah.
Full of garbage.
Yes.
I thought you meant like, how are you going to put the ocean on a rocket and send it to the moon, to the sun? What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm trying to extinguish the sun here. Okay.
Oh, okay.
But I can see that, man. Especially if that thing was
Christ.
coming up with any velocity, where it would make the mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it's underwater. It's murky. Things are kind of like magnified in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like if you're ever
The way
underwater,
light bends.
like if you just like stand in a pool and look at your feet, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it looks like you're
Well, especially
like
if you
2 feet
have,
shorter than you are.
especially if you have like a 20, 30-foot boat kind of thing,
Yeah,
a little closer to whale size.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
it could be definitely.
And I can see where they could do
Taken for
damage
that,
too,
so.
because don't these things have beaks?
Yeah, they got beaks. Like their suckers have like hooks in them and all that
They're not called suckers, you idiot.
on their tentacles, on the bottom part of their tentacles.
They're called suckers.
Yes.
Suction cups. I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yes, their suction cups have
They're
little
suckers.
teeth.
So
in
they
'em.
latch in. So you're
Yes.
not going anywhere. So
They're
between
not
that
called
and-
suckers. Like they're not called suckers. Look it up.
All right, give me 1 second.
This is our fact checking episode of this mythical creature that did not exist. Check the facts.
This is the one cryptid episode that is going to be factually checked.
The suction cups of an octopus arms are called suckers.
You're a fucking liar. You
The
made that up.
internal wall.
Bro, you
in-
can't go on Wikipedia, make your own shit,
Yeah.
write
This
whatever
is
you want,
Wikipedia.
and
This
then
is
quote it like
science.
it's fact. You
This
can't
is
do that.
science.com/suction cups octopus called
/ Wikipedia.com.
8484.250.html.
Yeah,
I don't have the
you're full of shit, man.
no, that's what it's called, bro.
You're the sailor of this podcast. You're full of shit.
Now sing us a shanty.
I mean, the Kraken's pretty cool though, man. Like,
Yeah, he's dope.
the ancient, like, I don't even know if they're ancient now. I guess it's just as old, but those paintings are fucking pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'd have one like in my bathroom.
It is a cool like
If you had like a Kraken
story.
bathroom, I guess.
It's a
There's
cool
a joke
story.
in there somewhere.
Well,
It's usually you, but you know.
Yeah,
yeah.
you must have
Beware
let
the
that one
crapping.
slide.
God almighty. It's so nice to not be talking about serial murder.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Nice lighthearted episode.
It takes you to a dark place, man.
It
You know
does.
what I mean? You're like, oh God. Like,
like,
people
yeah,
are just really fucking insane, man.
Yeah. It's like, what the
Like-
fuck is going through this dude's head?
Like super duper, like fucking like Kamehameha crazy, dude. Like they're like insane. You know what I mean? What giant squids that attack ships in the oceans.
Are hilarious.
That's fun.
That's
Yeah,
more
that's
reasonable.
fun.
I can get behind that. Yeah.
Way
Yeah,
more reasonable.
I can get behind a monster that kills 100 at a time
Yeah.
instead
Yeah.
of one that
It's
does
less
one at a time.
monstrous in a way, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you mean that besides like possessed dogs, like German shepherds
Yes.
or Labradors?
It's less personal. You know what I
It
mean?
is.
You
Yeah,
can't
it's
take it
definitely less
personally
No,
when a
yeah,
monster slaughters 15 at a time, you know.
because a monster's a monster, and then they do what monsters do.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
If they get, you know, people were getting mad at Godzilla for destroying Tokyo all the damn time.
The Japanese
No.
just rebuild it every time. They're fine.
yeah, they do. They're like, fuck it.
It keeps the economy going,
I was gonna say, it keeps them working.
keeps people employed. It's job security, really.
Yep.
Yeah, he was destroying the city all the time, and they absolutely loved him.
Yeah, because they
Got
got
a recess,
70-foot size
meets Godzilla.
pieces of sushi,
Yeah.
giant bowls
That's
of ramen
job
noodles.
security is what that's called.
Yeah.
Like, damn, man, we're about to finish this building. I hope Godzilla shows up soon. I can't take a layoff right
I
Well,
need
now.
some
God-
I need some OT, man.
Yeah.
Godzilla loves hentai, though. Everybody knows that. Loves it. Loves that Kraken hentai with all the tentacles. Why tentacles?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
I'm asking you because I know you watched a ton of it.
I don't actually, but I got to imagine it's for multiple points of penetration at a time.
Well, I was giving you the benefit of the doubt. I said did. I said not anymore.
Yo, there ain't no bullshit though. There is a lot of like freaky animals screwing in that shit, man.
Yeah. God bless them.
Like, yeah, like they
What,
don't
the
care.
South?
Ah!
We live in the South, man.
I know.
in undisclosed locations, but we live in the South. Oh no.
Hey, it ain't good enough for family, right?
No, but now my cat's staring at me. So I think I gotta go.
Yeah, like yo, can you go ahead and let me out?
Yeah. Yeah, please let me go. You're never getting out. I think that might be a good time.
To end the show.
Yeah, the show before we go.
Yeah, this thing's going
Any
off the
further.
rails.
We're borderline criminals.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, that's the Kraken. Thanks for joining us. Follow us on all the normal shit. Instagram, Facebook at Gamma Ray Podcast. Follow us on YouTube at Gamma Ray Podcast. And as always, thanks for joining us. We love you very much. Everyone,
Thanks,
catch you
guys.
next week.
See you later.
Bye.